Hey friends, thank you so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to ink a running man. So this is a drawing from a previous drawing lesson in which we put an emphasis on drawing the man here running and his clothes flying through the air excessively. And I wanted to show you some of the inking process here as I get it done. Inking is like in its own universe. You have drawing and then you have inking, which is completely different. It's like a new skill set to learn. And the thing is that, inking leaves more permanent lines, and so you really have to know what you're doing. I actually recommend a lot of people to practice sketching and just drawing for fun by using a pen, because I think that using a pen sort of relieves you of the need to be perfect, because you know that your lines are final anyway, and so if you make a mistake, nothing you can do about it. So here's a tip for you: use a pen for sketching. If you like urban sketching or just going out and drawing things, use a pen. I know it's counterintuitive in some way, but do it, because it'll sort of relieve you of the tension to be perfect, especially if you're very judgmental about your drawings and about your art, I think, in general, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. It's going to help you. So the gist of inking, if you want to get it done nicely, is to, I think, first work from in accordance to the direction to your strong hand. So if you're if you're drawing with your right hand, draw from left to right. This way you can really make sure you're not going over some of your lines, smearing them and doing all sorts of disgusting things. And you want to really be able to avoid that. So if you go from right to left and then you continue, I'm inking this arm, I'm inking, I'm smearing my entire drawing. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So go from left to right if you're right-handed, and from right to hand if you're left-handed. So another thing that I think gives inking, makes inking prettier, let's say, is the change in width. So if you have a line, you don't want to just ink the entire drawing using the same width of lines. You want to vary it. So for example, I have this thing here. What I want to do is not just go ahead like this, like a robot. I want to get, let's say, this line very light, and then go really heavy on the pen with this line. And then this one again very light, and then again really heavy with this one. This really gives it this pop. So, and I have a lot to learn when it comes to inking. I'm not perfect at it yet, but I had a lot of practice with it, and so I'm not the worst, hopefully. And another thing here that I kind of messed up is you want to get most of your lines fairly quickly. This is something that has been mentioned to death. Everybody talks about it, but it's important to say it anyway. Get your lines in rather quickly, because it adds this sort of spontaneity to the way they look. For example, I'll show you. I'm going to draw, I'm going to go over this line, and I'm going to do it really slowly. Moving slowly, and you see it's kind of heavy, and then if I go over this line and I do it, oh, that was terrible. Anyway, if I were to go at it and be more accurate like this, you'll get a very nice spontaneous line here. I should have watched that line, be more careful with that line, especially when I'm trying to make a point about it. But anyway, you'll see me draw quickly and throughout this entire drawing, so it's okay. Yep, here we want to tuck in that shirt like we did on the previous drawing lesson. Now, what the thing is, you want to work from left to right, or right to left, but you also want to work from top to bottom. I find that works better for me, and you should try any way that you can think of and see what works best for you. I personally prefer that way. Now, the thing with inking is that you want to be able to use the natural movement of your wrist, and so you want to get that curve like this. You don't want to go like that. And so feel free to rotate your paper, and like these lines I must get in quickly, like that. I must throw them. You see how much better it looks? So what I was saying is that you want to be able to rotate your page and work from your strength and not against the natural movement of your hand. I have no choice because I don't want to rotate the paper and give you a headache. So I'm going at it like this. I know the hands don't look perfect. I'm sorry. And really, a lot of these lines, you know, you really want to flick them. There we have it. And you see how I have to rotate myself instead of the paper here. Another thing I'll mention, I think, is that sometimes I'm not sure if I should be talking or just drawing, because there isn't always something important to mention. However, this one is really important, so I'll say it anyway. When you have to draw like really long, straight or curved lines, my advice to you would be to lift your entire arm off the paper, because that way your movement is less limited and you're moving from your elbow instead of your wrist. So if you move from your wrist, this is my limitation from here to here. But if I want to get like a really smooth line, I'm lifting here. Take a look. I'm lifting my entire arm off the paper and I just go like that. So this is something you should also take advantage of when you can. And you know, I really used to like carrying a notebook and a pen and just sketching things and seeing what turns out. And this is really fun because I think you can, when you go outside and you sketch real people, I think your creativity sort of opens, and you get this. You try new things. I think you're not stuck on the same pattern of drawing. So for example, one drawing I might do like with very few lines that are very slick and well placed, and then the other one I'm gonna do really sketchy. And it's because you see things in the real world and it kind of makes you want to try new things. I think I might do another similar video to this one when I'm inking, but I'm going to ink very aggressively, very sketchy, and just to show you how fun it can be. Also remember that your inking sort of gives weight to the picture. So the line that's here created by the ironing of the clothes, of the pants, you don't want to get that in too strong. I'll show you in a second here. You want to get that line in very lightly and mostly where it matters. So I won't run a continuous line all along his leg. You see how I'm sort of cutting it at many points. This helps sort of give this very light feeling to the cloth, basically, to the way it flows in the air. So here we're gonna blacken the belt a bit. He's a black belt. And just for good measures, I'm gonna sort of darken that area here because it's more hidden. You can even use a second layer, I think. And also I might add some texture to the tie here, just to make it more fun. And then after you're done, what you want to do is very gently erase all of your pencil leftovers, and the final drawing is going to be awesome once you do that. So that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around and looking at me ink this dude from the previous video. And as I've said, what I want you to do is first subscribe to my channel if you find my videos helpful. If you don't, tell me. I want to know. And also check out my website in the description below. Subscribe and you will get tons of cool things that I don't share here on YouTube, plus a free copy of my book, specifically on sketching, actually. So I'll be really thrilled if you check that out. I'm gonna, oh, I forgot this part. I'm gonna include a link, and I'll see you in the next video. So until then, take care.